Sully clung to the keel with one hand, his body flat against the smooth surface of the hull. There was ample room on either side of the keel before the dead rise, the upward slope of the hull. The Sea Dog had a beam of 10 feet. Unless a wind and waves came up, he was safe enough in his wet perch. Scoot again wondered if her brother had survived, and if he was still around the boat or on it. With her right foot, she began to probe around the space beneath her. The pot had drifted away, but her toes felt what seemed to be flatware. That made sense. The drawer with the knives and forks and spoons had popped out, spilling its contents. She took a deep breath and ducked under to pick out a knife. Coming up, she held the knife blade, reaching skyward with the handle. Eyes closed, brain mushy, exhausted, Sully heard a faint tapping and raised up on his elbows to make sure he wasn't dreaming. No, there was a tapping from below. He crawled back toward what he thought was the source area, the galley area, and put it near to the hull. She was tapping. He pounded the fiberglass, yelling, "Scoot! Scoot! Scoot!" Scoot heard the pounding and called out, "Sully, I'm here! I'm here!" Her voice seemed to thunder in the air pocket. Sully yelled, "Can you hear me?" Scoot could only hear the pounding. "Help me out of here!" Ear still to the hull, Sully shouted again, "Scoot, can you hear me?" No answer. He pounded again and repeated, "Scoot, can you hear me?" No answer. The hull was too thick, and the slop of the sea, the moan of the afternoon breeze, didn't help. Though she couldn't hear his voice, the mere fact that he was up there told her she'd escape. Sully had gotten her out of jams before. There was no one on earth that she'd rather have as a rescue man than her oldest brother. She absolutely knew she'd survive. Though it might be fruitless, Sully yelled down to the galley alcove, "Listen to me, Scoot. You'll have to get out by yourself. I can't help you. I can't break in. Listen to me. I know you're in water, and the best way out is through the skylight. You've got to dive down and open it." Sully, "You're small enough to go through it." She could go through either section of the butterfly window. "Tap twice if you heard me." She did not respond, and he repeated what he'd just said, word for word. No response. No taps from below. Scoot couldn't understand why he didn't just swim down and open the doors to the cabin. Release her. That's all he needed to do, and she'd be free. Sully looked up at the sky. Please, God, help me. Help us. It was almost unbearable to know she was alive and he was unable to do anything for her. Then he made the decision to keep repeating, "Listen to me, Scoot. You'll have to get out by yourself. I can't break in. Listen to me. The best way out is through the skylight. You've got to dive down and open it. You're small enough to go through it." He decided to keep saying it the rest of the day and into the night, or for as long as it took to penetrate the hull with words. Skylight, skylight, over and over. He'd heard of mental telepathy, but had not thought much about it before. Now it was the only way to reach her. Scoot finally thought that maybe Sully was hurt, maybe helpless up on that bottom. So that was why he couldn't open the doors and let her out. That had to be the reason. Sully up there with broken legs. So I'll have to get out on my own, she thought. Over the last 2 days, when she wasn't on the wheel, she had been exploring the Sea Dog, and she thought she knew all the exits. Besides the companionway doors, which she knew she couldn't open, there was the hatch on the foredeck for access to the sails. Then there was the skylight, almost in the middle of the long cabin.